So it finishes Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 1. Let's take a look at the table, shall we? Because that confirms that Arsenal are the only team now. Just squint, Robbo. Put your glasses on.
Yeah, it's a long way away, that one.
Arsenal are the only team left in the competition who've won every single game, with Inter losing today against Atletico Madrid. For more on this tie, let's welcome in, shall we? Jurgen Klinsmann. Jurgen, we said it after the weekend and we'll say it again today. Another brilliant performance from Arsenal.
Yeah, I think we saw a very, very good game there of two sides there, probably among the best in Europe or in the world. Highly entertaining. I mean, the goals came in a certain way where we can certainly discuss a little bit if it was a foul on Manuel Neuer or not. You know, probably in England they wouldn't give a foul. In Germany they would give a foul. It depends a bit how the referees are judging something like that. But then, obviously, in the second half, a fantastic Arsenal side, you know, that also, you know, produced other chances as well, not only the ones that we just saw. I mean, the goal that Manuel Neuer at the end conceded is a bit, you know, that's his style of play. He's always high up. I think the backline was even far into the Arsenal side there. And it's a bit risky, and here and there you concede a goal like that, but it was already 2-1 at that point. But a highly entertaining game, a good game. I think the goal that Bayern Munich scored, you know, with the long ball from Kimmich into Gnabry, he one touch over to Leonard Karl, who is one of the biggest talents at the moment in European football, not only in Germany, in European football. And the question is, a little bit in Germany, is can he make it already maybe towards the national team for the World Cup next summer in the United States? It's a huge, huge talent. He scores that beautiful goal. But I think overall that Arsenal deserved the win.
Yeah, he is. He's going to be a super player, isn't he? But I think what we've seen from Arsenal this season, and certainly albeit the Sunderland game, where they dropped points, was a bit of an anomaly for them, particularly from a leading position. Was the opposite of what Liverpool have, and I know we're going to get to them. At the moment, their confidence is getting sapped, and Arsenal are just building momentum. You know, the big win and a big statement in the North London derby, it was one-way traffic pretty much until Zubimendi gave the ball away and Richarlison scored the great goal. And this game ebbed and flowed in the first half until Arsenal really flexed their muscles. You know, they can make the changes. They had much more on the bench than Bayern. Obviously, Calafiori comes on, Madueke comes on when Trossard had to go off. They're without Gyökeres as well. So Moreno played again up there. Odegaard came off the bench, but we've seen Eze perform very well in that number 10 position. And they're without Gabriel at the back. And I think whilst nothing's given out in November, clearly, there is a statement from Arsenal that they have all the tools this season. He's been given all the tools to succeed in the Premier League and make a big push for this Champions League. Now, it's very early, but there's nothing wrong with building confidence with victories like this. It's not going to do you any harm whatsoever, as long as you keep your feet on the ground. I thought Rice was brilliant again. Zubimendi was tidy in there. And listen, they're the real deal, Arsenal. It's whether or not they have the mentality to get over the line, particularly in this competition.
But what we're seeing, in contrast to last season, is the control they seem to have over games.
Yeah, control of the games. But the very best teams, when I was playing against Liverpool when they were the top side in the country, when teams have played against Man City over the last few years, when teams played against Barcelona, the top teams are difficult to play against in terms of when you get the ball, you've got no time, you can't find a pass. We've seen Bayern Munich, albeit in the Bundesliga, but even in the Champions League, create chances with ease, score goals with ease. They couldn't do that today because the intensity of Arsenal's pressing at the right time, dropping off at the right time, forcing Bayern into certain little areas where they can't then get out of those areas. That's the difference between the top sides and the sides that are just below it. At the moment, Arsenal are top side because they can create chances in several different ways, set plays being one of them, in general play as well, but they also are hard to play against. You don't see individuals have great games against Arsenal. You don't see teams outpass them very often. PSG did it last year in the semi-final, but they didn't do it at this time last year when they were beaten at the Emirates.
Jurgen, they're clearly a team that at the moment is just full of confidence in themselves.
Yeah, and they all gel. I mean, they all kind of, you know, they click and they are there for each other. And as Stewart says, it's the level of intensity, the level of aggressiveness that they have. You know, in every one-against-one challenge, they are ready for it. They are hungry. They are driven. They're really, really driven. And if you want to beat teams like Bayern Munich or the the PSGs and other top teams in Europe, then you need to have the edge physically over them, because obviously they're all technically and football-wise so gifted. They can always make a difference with an individual play or a set play or something like that. So where you want to have the edge over these teams, especially Bayern Munich that has been unbeaten until today this season, you need to have that physical approach. And that's what they did. I mean, the best example maybe is how they played Harry Kane. Harry could not even touch a ball. He could not even pass the ball nicely or something like that. He had to come back all the way in his own half to pick up a ball and to be part of the play, because they were all over him. There were always two guys on him. So they pulled literally the fun out of the game for Harry Kane. And so they did that with pretty much every player. And this is very, very impressive.
I think they obviously knew they could squeeze Harry Kane, because for all his great attributes, he's not going to run in behind. We saw a little clip of that. When he dummied, I think it was Saliba, and then within a couple of paces,
I think the commentator said left him in his wake. Well, he didn't quite do that, did he? Because he had to turn back in the end.
You know, he has many facets of his game that are brilliant, but pace is not one of them. So you could really squeeze him. And Jurgen's right; he was dropping away into his own half to try and get on the ball. And we used to see him do that for Tottenham quite a lot, and he'd start off these moves. You need to get runners to go beyond. Now, they did that for the goal. It wasn't Harry Kane, it was Serge Gnabry getting in behind. And that obviously caused Arsenal a problem, but they didn't do that enough. They didn't hit that diagonal enough over the top, and so they really didn't utilise, we didn't see the best of Elise today, we didn't see the best version of Gnabry, even though his pass for the goal was very good. And Arsenal dominated for the most part the middle of the park. I didn't think the initial goal was a free kick on Manuel Neuer, but you can add Bayern to the list of teams that struggled against Arsenal set piece today. There was maybe 3 or 4 at least in the second half.
Scrambles, weren't there?
Where it was scrambling in the 6-yard box and Neuer was coming, he wasn't getting there, or Moreno just missed a header by inches. And I know sometimes you think, I get sick talking about these Arsenal set pieces. And with Gabriel out, that's another,
Moreno should have scored a couple of goals with his head when he
should have done,
in.
but they're just, and I kind of sometimes think it takes away from their good play, but they're such a threat, and I don't think they're such a threat because they have this super duper set piece coach. They just are able to, they have people that can deliver the ball with a lot of pace and very flat into the 6-yard box. And when you do that, you don't give goalkeepers time, particularly when they're blocked, to come out and make a punch or a catch. So it's all about the delivery, and at the moment, Arsenal put on a better delivery from set pieces than any side I know in Europe.
Jurgen, how will this defeat be received in Germany, considering, as you say, Bayern undefeated going into this game?
Oh, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Obviously, it's a disappointment, but it's just a brief disappointment. They will go back to business in the Bundesliga. They will run through this season, and they're going to win this Bundesliga season. There's no doubt about it. No, they're going to take it just the way it is. It's not too much disappointment. They know that they are among the best in Europe with Arsenal. And obviously, they will discuss a little bit the weaknesses that they had today against Arsenal, especially on the set pieces that were just mentioned. And I think just when you talk about these set pieces and you know what's coming at you, and obviously Bayern Munich did their homework too, how do you defend it now? In the zone? Are you defending in a half zone, half man marking? Are you going forward? Are you attacking the ball? And all these elements. But what is so impressive from the Arsenal side is that their players, they are so determined, they are so alert when the balls are whipped in, and they're coming in with a lot of pace. So the delivery, as we said, is so crucial there. But it's just fantastic to see. I mean, you can take that as a lecture piece, for attacking set pieces, attacking corner kicks, because the way they attack the ball, the way they run into the ball, is very, very difficult to stop. And then they are physically, obviously, they have a presence and they can jump, and that's why they're successful with it. But it's fun to watch.